today on Torrin tries TP roll bracelets. I apologize in advance. I don't know what was going on with my camera. So you need 2 toilet paper rolls. I am using Mod Podge. I have satin and glitter for 2 different things, of course. I have some acrylic paint, black and white. I have some E6000 for trim. I love that glue. And wax paper to help us with the Mod Podge so it doesn't stick to everything. A brush. I am making 2, one of them with pink satin ribbon and some funky yarn with glitter on the edges, so for trim. And one will be gold ribbon with this pretty trim and peacock feather. Because, you know, let's go for something Cleopatra. I don't know. Any hoodles. Okay, so you need to measure your wrist. Little girls will be able to just wear it as is, but grown girls are going to probably need to put 2 together and overlap them. You just cut them vertically. You can test fit to see if it'll fit you, but if you need more, then you need more. No big whoop. All right. So next step, you have to determine how wide you want them. You will want, if you're doing them with fabric, you will want the fabric to go around the edges. So you want to cut it smaller than that, which, you know, I predetermined that. And then I just slid them together and cut them. So I only had to cut once. Once you do that, you just kind of fit them around your wrist to where you want them to be. And then I just simply took a pen and drew a line so I knew where the overlap would be for when I had to add my Mod Podge to put them together. Nice and simple. Okay, so next step is you need to get out your Mod Podge. So there, I pointed. Yeah, I made a line. Good for you. So then I did look up how to use Mod Podge. This was the first time I've ever used it. So just starting at the line on the underneath piece, I painted it on, and then I also painted it on the other piece on the underneath part so that they would stick together. This stuff dries really fast. They say to let it dry enough so it's slightly tacky and then smush it together. But it doesn't take long till it's slightly tacky. Like, it really dries fast. So work quickly. I got better at working quickly as I went along. But yeah, I just lined everything up and squeezed out the excess. And then I did go ahead and add some Mod Podge on the seam just to kind of make it smooth. I'm using the satin on the gold ribbon and the glitter on the pink ribbon. I did put down my wax paper, and now I am painting it with the Mod Podge. This will keep it from fraying when I have to cut it. They do make some specifically for fabric, but this is just regular stuff. I think it works just fine. But yeah, it dries clear, or clear with glitter in it if you're using the glitter. So yeah, next step, I took the bracelet forms, I guess, and I painted them. I painted the little one white and the big one black. I also ended up using clothespins to help them hold their shape, because once you put the acrylic paint on, they got a little wobbly and were not holding their shape at all. So clothespins worked great, just to keep them, you know, in some sort of shape. And then I peeled my ribbon off of the wax paper and made everything fly everywhere, but you know, this is me. It does peel up. No problem. The gold wasn't totally dry yet, so it was still a little tacky in spots, so I just flipped it over and let it complete its drying process. But the pink was totally dried. And the pink, I used the glitter Mod Podge on the pink. I will say it is chock full of glitter. It is kind of a white iridescent glitter. So they absolutely weren't lying. Look at that stuff sparkle. That's not the sparkly side, the other side. There we go. Yay! So that's done. Our next step is to take our Mod Podge and again, the sides that are going to be glued together both get some. So inside of the ribbon and the outside of the cuff. And then it's a lot of smoothing and making sure it fits and wraps around the outside. And then I again employed the clothespin to make it stay circular. Did the exact same thing for the black one. And now it's time for trim. So what I ended up doing is the outside of this yarn had sequins in it. So I just kind of spread it over, trimmed it so it would fit. And then on the other piece, I just trimmed off the sparkly part and glued it around the perimeter on the other side so they would kind of have matching. There we go. So that's what it ends up looking like. I also added another coat of glitter Mod Podge over that just to make sure. You will see that my fingers are covered in glitter glue. Luckily, it washes off. Oh, and I also had to tie the gold one into a circle because it was just not staying. Okay, so for the gold one, I ended up using Mod Podge for the peacock feather. And all I did was I painted some where I wanted it to go. I put the feather down and then I Mod Podged over the feather. I did end up having to use a toothpick to kind of separate out parts of the feather because they got a little clumpy on me. And then I used, or I added the trim around the outside, but for that I used the E6000, which is kind of like hot glue in that it dries clear and it dries really fast, only it's not hot. So here's the pink one, which is kind of a mess and doesn't look awesome. And I actually really like the peacock one. And I think what I'm going to do is spray these down with clear shellac so that they hold their shape. Alrighty, guys, it worked. Happy crafting. Have a great day. Bye.